And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to be with you today. And of course, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't try to tempt you with a brand new Supra. A car that is near and dear to my heart. We recently launched the Supra in Detroit at the North American Auto Show, and it made me realize just how far we've come from the first vehicle we ever sold in the US, the Toyoda. It had a nice paying job, but was so underpowered it could barely manage 45 miles per hour. Thankfully, we worked a few things out since that. Since the first Toyota dealership opened in Hollywood, California in 1958, we've sold almost 65 million vehicles here in the US. But actually, Toyota didn't start out as a car business. We began as a maker of fabric weaving looms in Japan. My great-grandfather Sakichi Toyoda invented the automatic loom in 1924. His son, my grandfather Kiichiro, wasn't so interested in the family business, however. An engineer by training, he went to the US and fell madly in love with American cars. He returned home determined to persuade his father to let him try to build cars. The first Toyota, the Model AA, debuted in 1936. And the rest, as they say, is history. In fact, my grandfather was just inducted into the American Automotive Hall of Fame. Thank you. Although he died before I was born, I know in my heart this is an honor he would never have thought possible, and one that would mean so much to him. So I'm now the third generation Toyota to run this company. And perhaps you have heard the saying that the third generation ruins everything. Well, hopefully that will not be the case. So far, so good, but you never know. My love of cars began at an early age. In fact, when I was a little boy, I wanted to grow up to be a taxi driver. I didn't quite get there, but close enough. My love of all things Americans began when I was a student at Babson College in Boston, a place that was to instill in me a lifelong belief in entrepreneurship, perseverance, and the Red Sox. Now, to say there are challenges when I became CEO in 2009 is an understatement. But as I had learned from my days in Boston, I was determined to never give up and to make Toyota a better, more responsive company, not just for our customers and our employees, but for society at large. Toyota was founded on the principle of continuous improvement, or Kaizen. And I believe that you can never rest, never assume you know all there is to know. In fact, to quote the great American philosopher, Yoda, I believe that sometimes you must unlearn what you have learned in order to grow and move forward. This has never been more true in our industry than today. I believe automotive industry is undergoing the same level of disruption as when we moved from horses to cars. It's why I founded the Toyota Research Institute in 2015 with offices in Silicon Valley, Boston, and Ann Arbor, to focus solely on the development of autonomy, robotics, and artificial intelligence. And that's why I also launched another standalone company here in the US called Toyota Connected, which has developed a software platform for all kinds of mobility services, such as car sharings. Last year, we introduced our e-pallet concept and autonomous mobility solutions for e-commerce retail and beyond, including ride-sharing, delivery, and retail. Today, you have to travel to the store. In the future, with e-pallet, the store will come to you. New forms of powertrains are also driving change in our industry. Electric vehicles are what everybody's talking about these days, that and the final season of Games of Thrones. But there's still much work to be done to increase consumer demand for all electric vehicles, which is why we are working with government to create the charging stations and infrastructure necessary to support all electric vehicles, pursuing emissions-free technologies, and reducing greenhouse gas is also a huge priority for us, as it should be for everyone. We began our effort to help the environment many years ago by introducing hybrid technologies. And our fuel cell technology continues this journey. Recently, we began testing heavy-duty zero-emission fuel cell trucks in the port of Long Beach and Los Angeles, the place where 10% of the vehicle causes 50% of the pollutions. 1 year in, we are well on our way to making this operation commercially viable, as we help to improve the air quality in this part of the US. Now I have to say, without questions, the US has played a critical role in our success as a company, and it is something that we continue to be grateful for. Today, we currently have 10 plants in the US, and we just broke ground on our 11th in Huntsville, Alabama, in partnership with Mazda. 2 years ago, we officially opened the doors of our new US headquarters in Plano, Texas. And believe me, it's way nicer than my office in Japan. In 2017, we announced an additional investment in the US of $10 billion over a 5-year period, which we're actually increasing to $13 billion, to support additional production in our Kentucky, Alabama, and West Virginia plants, as well as our customers in the United States. One thing that unites people, no matter where you live, is the Olympics, which is why we decided to become the worldwide sponsor of the Olympics, Paralympics, and Special Olympics. Because in a time when so much seems to divide us, it's good to remember how much actually unites us. As global citizens, I believe it's up to all of us, especially corporations like Toyota, to do our part to help make the world a better place. We have a set of values at Toyota, passed down to us to my grandfather, that we refer to as the Toyota Way. Values that include integrity, humility, and respect for others. And for us, the Toyota Way is more than just words. It's guiding light, a reflection of who we are as a company. And we believe it's our duty to shine that light everywhere we can. So, on behalf of the nearly 200,000 Toyota employees, suppliers, and dealers here in America, I want to thank you for inviting me here today. Our tagline in the US is, "Let's go places," and together. I hope that's exactly what we continue to do. Thank you very much.